Howdy folks, how you going? I'm out in the brewery. I'm playing around, as I often do, but yeah, no, it's actually quite serious out here at the moment. I'm reconfiguring the funky stuff, the barrel aging area, and shuffling around some of the brews because I need some keg space. One thing, but two, and I've discussed this on a couple of lives. I mentioned it on the Facebook page about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. That I was getting back onto the funky stuff because I hadn't done anything for a while, and basically what drove me to this was I've got this keg over here which is a blood orange ghost which I did part of extravaganza. So I'll put a link to the original video for this, but it's a little bit heavy for where I'd like it to be, so I'm gonna funk it up because really I can't think of anything else to do with it. Like I'm probably going to do, before the end of the summer, I'm probably going to do another all grain blood orange gozer. I've got the blood oranges in the fridge, but I need, part of the problem is got this keg here which I don't know if you can actually see, which is full of infected cherry juice. And again, I've talked about this on some lives, but this is a keg that's come from Bull Creek, local brewery. It worked its way around to them via a local orchard and Capital Brewing. There was leftover cherry juice from beers I was making last year. Mike out there at Bull Creek ended up with 1,000 litres of it. I think that's what it was, 1,000 litres, an IBC. And in the process of all the shuffling around and moving backwards and forwards, it's ended up infected and it's spontaneously fermented. So he doesn't want to use it in the brewery. And he discussed this with me. This was like when he very first opened it back in April. And first time I was out there having a beer with him and he's talking about it, and I said, look, I want some of this cherry juice. Long story. Finally ended up with keg it about 2 weeks ago, and I need to get it out of this keg, because this is Mike's keg. I want to get it back to him, and I want to do some funky beers with this. So this is part of the process. I want this happening, I want the other stuff happening, but I need this keg moved. So to get that around, I've got to do some shuffling. So this is this is the plan. Follow along closely. In the fridge, on tap, is the last of the Aussie Summer Saison, Lemon Myrtle and Saltbush Saison, which I did last summer. I put half of that batch away and funked it up on some on the Funk Weapon 1 via bootleg, and there's only a little bit of it left. So it's going to come off soon. This keg over here on the my far left is what's left of the first funky beer I did. This is a table beer, just the Jester King Funk Time I called it. It's the Jester King culture, Jester King from America, one of the, actually the top rated wild fermentation brewery in the world at this point in time. This is one of their cultures. It's a really nice beer. It's been funking up since June last year, so it's now coming up on 15 and a half months. So haven't tasted this in probably 8 months. But right about now, for what I'm about to do, I need this keg to be full of something else. So, without contaminating too much hardware, this is the plan. That keg stays in the fridge. That's going to be a rotating now funky keg forever. It's never going to have normal beer in it again. This one's the same thing. These are basically the 2 serving kegs I'm going to have for the funky beers. And this last had the Jester King in it. This was the Jester King beer on tap before the Funk Weapon on the Aussie Saison. There's about estimated somewhere between 6 and 8 litres of what should be right now quite funky beer on here. So this is a table beer. I think it runs about 3.2% ABV by memory. But it was in this keg. I've just given this just a quick wash out just to get any crud out of it. I do need to purge it. Which I've almost forgotten. So we'll quickly do that. So I'm going to transfer the Jester King aging, basic, I'll call this the sort of the barrel section, but yeah, I'm going to transfer from that into here. So this fella will be all but empty. That will do nicely. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this first. Probably should have stuck that on the bloody scale, but anyway. And this PRV would appear to be stuck. This bunding valve, it doesn't want to release. That's handy. We'll go that way. Now because this isn't cold, I'm going to have trouble telling how much I've transferred. That's why I thought I should have weighed it. I do have an actual empty weight on this keg. I think it's on that side. But anyway, once this is transferred, I'm going to set this aside, and this will just simply wait until the keg in the fridge with the Saison is empty, and then it will go in there. Get in there. Okay. Now, obviously you can't see it. The gauge here is slowly climbing as the pressure from this keg is coming into this one, which is the only thing I've got at the moment to go off really accurately to tell you where I'm actually still transferring beer. It's a method you're not going to see too often, but it certainly works. I said if you've got this actually closed, your spondy's going to build pressure. which means I've got movement from one keg to the other. It's had a bit of a hiccup there. Okay, still bringing pressure over. I think I'm just getting gassing off now. That's it. He bubbling, he done. Alright, so that keg's done. It's showing 5, we'll back up to 5 psi, so she's got a safe blanket of CO2, and we have a full, well, about full keg of Majestic King Funk Time. Now, the transfer this fella, the orange goes back into this keg. Yeah, there's that little bit left in the bottom of that, which is fine, because this is already a bit funky. This is already a little bit funky, the goes up, and I'm going to add that. Bootleg biology, embrace the funk. I did talk about actually doing this little bit of starter on this because it's quite old. I'm not going to worry about it. There's some funky stuff in here already. The beer's already fermented. I don't need to ferment. This is simply just to get some more of that funk going on. So I'm just going to stick it in. It's going to get, I mean, the Brett vibe, the Brett culture is not going to be affected by the age. The actual yeast proponent of that might be, but the funky stuff isn't, and that's all I need. I only need it to infect it and for that infection to grow. I don't need it to ferment anymore. So that lid off. Let's get just a little bit clean. And let's get that in there. All good. Lid back on. We'll purge this a little bit. As much as we're infecting it, I don't want to oxidise it. So that's let's get some gas on there to help with the transfer. So again, I'm not too worried about this little bit coming straight onto this beer. So this is a light, simple beer. Now you go back and have a look at the video on it if you want. I'll link it up. Beer in. Away she goes. Okay, so I'm going to transfer that over now. So once the gozer is into this keg's just going to sit aside and I'll let it do its thing, and I'll work into that rotation with the other sour beers, the other funky stuff, where it'll swap. So that keg that's in the fridge will swap into the funk time, the Jester King initially. But when that keg comes off, I'll take some of this off. When it's time to swap that keg again, and then by that stage this is probably going to be 6 months, and then we'll roll through and we'll just do a rotation with those, between those two kegs, between the brews, because other than this, I said, got the cherry juice. The cherry juice is going to go into this keg. So once this is empty, the gozer, I will clean it, and I'll put the cherry juice in there. I'm going to clean this because I want a clean keg for the cherry juice, because I don't want the cherry juice getting contaminated with any other bacteria. I want to be able to use it exactly as it is in some upcoming beers. Upcoming beers are, I'm going to do a sour cherry porter, stout, one of the two. Not sure exactly what yet, but one of the two. And I will do something else. I'm not sure exactly what, but I will infect something else with the cherries. That will be just, we'll see down the track exactly what that turns out to be. I haven't made a complete decision on that yet, so but likely to be something a bit more lighter, so a bit more of a traditional. It might be like a cherry Weizen, or just a straight cherry gozer, something like that. Yeah, so I want this keg clean, so that's not contaminated until I'm ready to contaminate it, because I'm only going to use 3 or 4 litres of this actual cherry juice on those 2 beers, and then I'm going to actually finish fermenting this cherry juice. I'm going to play around with it and do something which we will see down the track, which I think is going to be quite interesting. That's nearly done. Yeah, so I don't know what it's so yeah, you'll see that down the track a little bit, but that's probably going to be a way off. This cherry juice at the moment, by our best calculation, is sitting about 9% alcohol as it sits. It's got a gravity of 1022, so when I do play with it, I'm hoping to take a little bit more of the gravity off it, with some sort of ferment to finish that out. So it might be wineish, or it might be probably going to be wineish. Not much I can do with it, but anyway. So that's the reason this cherry juice. I'm out to Buller Creek this weekend to brew porter. That's my second beer out there at the brewery, and we will be putting cherry juice in that. There's going to be clean cherry juice, and probably I've got to wait and see exactly. I haven't got confirmation from Mike yet whether we're putting some form of chocolate in that, or whether we're just going to use malts to get some chocolate tones. He was talking chopped cherry porter, so we will see. The recipe I've nutted out. It doesn't matter which way we go, the recipe's going to work fine, so that's all good. But I want to get that keg back to him this weekend, so that was part of this swap around. And I've got 3 fermenters in fridges which need to come on and stuff, so that was part of it as well. And I haven't had much time lately to do anything, so I'm sitting down today doing this. So, but that's it. Funky stuff is back on. I mean, it's not that it ever stopped, but it's going with a little bit more effort and focus at the moment. So, any comments for any questions down the bottom? As always, big thumbs up to the patrons of the channel. Yeah, thank you guys. Again, this is the sort of stuff I can play around with because you guys support the channel. So if you're interested, there's a link down the bottom, jump on there. If you subscribe, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, that way you don't miss any videos. If you like what's going on, give me a thumbs up. But other than that, that's me, Little John. I'm out of here. So till I see you on the next video, we were brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer. Good brewing. I haven't got a beer. It's Monday. It's no beer. It's a school night. It's not a beer night, so I can't taste you for beer. But anyway, cheers.